Well, hello, friends. I hope you are having a great day today, and I hope you believe in God for even better things as the day and the week goes on. Happy Hump Day to you. Welcome to Wednesday's edition of Take 5. Well, this week we are talking about the life of Joseph, and we're dealing with the subject, the pit, the prison, and the palace. And everything that we're talking about is turning back to one main thesis, and that is how we persevere and perform while in the pit and the prison validates our place in the palace. Simply stated, that is this: how we endure the pit and the prison, how we go through the pit and the prison, the lessons we learn, the way we grow in the pit and the prison will determine how we serve in the palace. It'll determine when we serve in the palace, and it absolutely will determine whether or not we serve in the palace according to whether or not we learn the lessons and grow like we're supposed to grow. Yesterday, as we talked about Joseph, we dealt with the idea of dream killers. Joseph had to deal with haters, liars, and forgetters, but through all of that, he held on to his dream. He endured the pit and the prison well, and that validated his place in the palace. Today, I want to move on to another subject, and it's going to have more to do with his character. Joseph lost his coat. You remember that coat of many colors? He lost his coat, but he never lost his character. That coat was what his father had given him that represented what Joseph would be in the future. His daddy may not have even known what he was doing, but that coat of many colors represented what Joseph was going to be. And Joseph lost his coat. His brothers took it from him. They hated that coat because it showed the favor that was on him. He lost his coat, but he never, ever, ever lost his character through everything that he went through. Now, we've spent the last 4 or 5 weeks talking about character during the trying times of life. And I hope through this lesson with Joseph, we can just see how important it really, really is. There are 3 things that I want us to grasp that we can do when it seems like everything is working against the dream that God has given us. These things will absolutely prove that we have the character to do what is necessary to fulfill the dream that God has appointed us to. We're going to talk about serving with excellence. We're going to talk about maintaining integrity. We're going to talk about trusting God's sovereignty. Today, I want to deal with just one of those, and that is serving with excellence. When Joseph served his father, he always did exactly what was desired of him, even if it meant bringing back a negative report on his own brothers about how they were tending their father's sheep. Serving with excellence is not an easy road, especially when you have to do something that way, but Joseph did it. Even though his brothers hated him, he served with excellence. As a matter of fact, he knew they hated him when he went out the last time to check on them. His father sent him to check on them, and he had to walk 75 miles to check on them. Walk or ride a camel or whatever. It wasn't in a car, I guarantee you that. 75 miles he had to go because he wanted to serve his father with excellence. When he was sold into slavery in Egypt, he ended up serving Potiphar there. And he ended up being so reliable and dependable as a slave that Potiphar put him in charge. Joseph gave his best no matter what. Whether or not you hated him and threw him in a pit, or whether you bought him and just treated him like a slave, wherever he was, whatever he was doing, Joseph always gave his best. In Genesis 39, it said that Potiphar saw that the Lord was with him because God caused all that he did with his hands to succeed. He was a worker. He served with excellence in every situation and circumstance he was in. He served with excellence. From there, he ends up getting thrown in jail when Potiphar's wife lied on him. You know, we talked about her yesterday. And soon, it wasn't very long before he was in charge of the entire prison administration because of the way he served as a prisoner. I mean, this guy's incredible. Anywhere you put him, any hand you deal him, Joseph will serve with excellence and make something great out of it. The Bible said the keeper of the prison put Joseph in charge of all of the prisoners that was in there, because whatever he did, he was successful at, because he was busy and he served with excellence. Now, news of Joseph's excellent service and reliability soon reached the palace, and Pharaoh now promoted Joseph to second in command because of some dreams that he had interpreted for him. And this would not have happened. He would have never ended up in front of Pharaoh had he not been persevering and performing with excellence while he was in his father's field, while he was in Potiphar's house, and while he was in the prison. If he had not have been serving with excellence, none of this would have happened, and he would not have ended up serving Pharaoh and being prime minister in all of Egypt. You have to be faithful with what God gives you, regardless of how small it may seem or how hard it is. You have to be faithful with that, and that will determine whether or not you get to serve in the palace. Luke chapter 16 verse 10 says, "The one that manages the little that he has been given with faithfulness and integrity will be promoted and trusted with greater responsibilities. But those who cheat with the little will not be given consideration, because they will not be trustworthy even if they receive more." So Joseph, whatever you gave him, he served with excellence. He held his character. He lost his coat. His brothers stole his first coat, and the coat that Potiphar gave him as the number 2 man in all of his house, that old harlot wife of Potiphar, stole that coat. So all of this he lost, but he kept his character to the very end. We have got to determine, whatever life deals us, we serve with excellence every step of the way. Paul said these words in Philippians 4. He said, "I know how to be abased. I know how to abound. In everything and in all things, I have learned how to be full and to be hungry, to abound and to suffer need." He said, it doesn't matter what you send my way. I know how to handle it. I will serve with excellence in there, because the very next thing he said was, "Because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Wow. Joseph kept his character, and that's a valuable lesson for you and me today. Because we deal with circumstance like that. Life's not always fair. Life's not always easy. Sometimes we get dealt some pretty bad things. But I'm telling you, if you want to get to the palace, you got to serve with excellence where you are. If you want your relationship to be better, you serve with excellence. You give it excellence right now where you are. If you want to get to the next place in your employment, if you want to get to the palace, as it were, in your employment, then you're going to have to serve where you are with excellence. I'm telling you, you lose the coat, but make sure you keep your character and you serve with excellence in every stage of life. And I promise you, God will reward what you do. Well, hey, I got to get out of here. It's been great being with you today. I look forward to being with you tomorrow on Thursday's edition of Take 5. Until then, God bless you. Have a great day. Remember, my friend, whatever life deals you, serve with excellence, because your Heavenly Father is watching, and He will reward you like nobody else can.